Okay, so in conclusion, uh, I had a pizza. It was the Serious Eats pizza, but I increased the water content and added a little bit more water, a little bit more olive oil. The reason I added more is because I mean, I've heard that more hydrated pizzas just have like a better taste to them or like a better texture. I'm not really too sure about that, but it's something that I could test for a couple times and see if it works. Don't add too much olive oil because I found that when you're making like dough, more water means it's more like a hard bread like, while more oil, more fat makes it more tender, makes it a little bit softer. And when I'm making pizza, I don't necessarily want something soft. I want something like crispy, something like that holds its shape. I should probably set a timer. It's okay. I'll just have a timer in my head. Um, Tomato sauce I made. Uh, Everyone makes like a traditional tomato sauce when they make pizza. I don't really do that. I don't think I've ever really done that in the past several years. I've maybe I did that first when I was first making pizza, and I do that sometimes if I don't have anything else. But this pizza sauce, it's made with tomato sauce as a base, and then I added uh, Szechuan sauce, and I added the debris from chili oil, and uh, what else did I do to it? I added tomato paste. Now I added the Szechuan sauce and the chili oil debris was because I added Szechuan sauce because really it was just leftover, and I thought it'd just be good in a tomato sauce. I added the debris from the chili oil because I thought that would probably taste good. And it's like a has a spicy hit to it that I thought would go really well with the pizza sauce, especially with the peppercorns and the Szechuan sauce. And it does. It has a really like interesting like heat to it. That like only hits you after a few seconds after like there's a first round of spiciness, and then like after like a second or two you get hit by like a second round of spiciness, right? And I feel that's really interesting. Also added um the tomato paste because tomato paste is I wanted it to be the thing I really like about tomato sauce on pizza is that it's tangy, it cuts through, it has this acidity that cuts through the all the other fats in it. So I added tomato paste to have like an extra concentrated like tomato flavor in it to like cut through everything. Um, so and then yeah, to the toppings, there was the cheese. Uh, I use like a low moisture mozzarella because I just don't like soupy cheese. Water content is a important factor, right? Water content. I'm always thinking about like what are the water levels when I'm cooking something, right? When I'm cooking a stir fry, I don't want it to be when I'm cooking a stir fry and I'm adding ground meat to it. I have to think about if I want to brown this meat, I need um, it to have a lower water content, right? Um, when I'm doing water content, water moisture, that's a really like important thing to think about when you're cooking. Um, so I cooked the ground sausage, humanely raised sausage. I try always to buy humanely raised as possible. If not possible, I try to buy organic. If organic's not possible, I just I will just not eat meat. Um, I'll just find I'll find a way to get my protein from some other way, right? Unless it's like a survival situation, then yeah, sure, I will eat meat if I need to. Um, that's not organic or humanely certified. Um, or if I'm just with friends, I would do it too. Just to not be an asshole. I mean, not saying that vegans are assholes. I'm saying it because I'm not vegan myself. If I was vegan, if I had proof that I have been a vegan for like at least a month, right? And I said, no, I can't eat your food because I'm vegan. for a month. I've been vegan. I'm trying to go vegan. That would make more sense, right? At that point, I'm not an asshole. But because I haven't said I'm vegan, I can't just like do that to people, because then it would make me seem like an asshole, right? So, but okay, yeah, the ground meat I cooked to get rid of the water moisture, because when it's cooking on top of a pizza, there is some moisture from the tomato sauce, and there is some moisture from the bread and from the dough, and some moisture from the cheese that stops the ground meat from browning. And really, you're just gonna get like this like really kind of soupy ground meat that's gonna cook on top of, because the pork has a lot of water content in it. So that's why you cook it first before you put it on your pizza. And also, because you cooked it first on a pan, there's a lot more browning that happens because of the lack of water that comes from when you're baking it in an oven environment, on top of like so many other ingredients that have water in them. Salami, added salami because salami, I just heard someone online talk trash about pepperoni, so I was like, sure, if pepperoni is, if this person doesn't think pepperoni is good, why don't I try putting other types of cured meats on my pizza and see how that goes, right? So that's why I added salami. I just want to see. So when people say something like that, right? Pepperoni is trash. I try to think like, oh, that is like kind of like a slightly ignorant thing to say, but there could be something else to that statement that I could take away from. What I can take away from that is maybe I should try other meats, see what this person's talking about, So there's that. After this, this is special. Where is it? Where did I put it? It's right here. This is special. I made some fermented apple honey. I only have a little bit left. This is so good. It's fermented apple honey. It's just apples that I put into honey, and that I waited just like a pretty long time, and then until all the apples and sugars, until the honey obtained like this really nice like fermented apple flavor that I really loved. And I was putting this over fried chicken, but really you can put it over anything. So I mixed this with like a spicy Korean paste. That was really good. I think I just prefer it by itself though. I'm not if I want spiciness, I think I'll add that separately next time, because I just love the flavor of this just by itself. I add a little bit of salt to this as well. And it's interesting because like you look at the apples, and they look like almost preserved. Like there's no deoxidation on them at all. They look like preserved in the honey. So I think that was really cool. In the pan I used, I don't remember what material the pan was. It's probably just aluminum, but the thing about pans, I was using a thicker pan than usual, because I'm putting in a high heat environment and I want a pretty thick pan. Thin pans usually start deforming, and they really do not do well in like higher heat environments. They start like bending in weird shapes. And you might even see them like start burning, which I don't want. So I got a thicker pan, and the reason I use that over it wasn't a pan, it was a baking tray. The reason I use a baking tray like that and not an actual pan, like a pizza pan or like a cast iron, is because one, I don't have my cast iron right now. Stainless steel pan wouldn't work. I don't have a pizza pan. So yeah, that's why I'm using it on like just a regular baking tray. But the baking tray it's not nonstick, right? But it does have seasoning on it because I've used it so much. And seasoning does exist on baking trays. Seasoning exists on anything. Anything can be seasoned, right? Seasoned just like a cast iron pan. You can season stainless steel. You can season, um, what is that thing where it's like a steel iron alloy or something? No, it's not that. It's not alloy. It's not alloy. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like a carbon steel. Yeah. So carbon steel. Um, the only reason I thought it was alloy, I was thinking about alloy is because it looks like cast iron, but it is steel. So I was just thinking like, it's like them mixing together, but it's not. It's a carbon steel. You can season carbon steel. You can season anything that, because what you're doing is seasoning something means you're polymerizing oil on that thing, right? And anything can have polymerized oil add to it. It's saying something can't be seasoned is like, I mean, of course, like I could season my hand, right? But my hand would probably explode or like catch on fire, and I wouldn't have a hand, and I would probably die because the wound would be horrific. But you can apply seasoning to anything, is what I'm saying, right? You can't apply it to nonstick, of course, because nonstick is already nonstick. There's no point in putting seasoning on it. And also, if you did try to season it, nonstick pans only go up to like a certain temperature before the material starts to not go so well. I'm not sure what happens. I think it does some type of like deformation from the heat, and it might release fumes. I don't really get that part. But you're not supposed to season it because seasoning goes up to like 500, 600 degrees, and you shouldn't take a nonstick pan to that high of a temperature for that long. Yeah, so that's everything about the pizza I'm making right now. It should bake for like 15 minutes. I think I've been talking for like 5 minutes already. I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer and it should be done.